Hey guys, I'm John, and in this video we're going to find out how ace I think this is. So guys, here we are. We are finally come to the time where Master of the Universe has got a true sequel in the form of Master of the Universe Revelation, exclusively on Netflix. And, wow, what can I say? So, Master of the Universe is a big thing for me. Okay, so I grew up in the 80s watching Master of the Universe. It was amazing. So it ran from 83 to 85, and it was one of them things that, it was just a highlight of television. It was just, at the time, there wasn't a great deal of shows about for me, and to be able to watch Master of the Universe was absolutely awesome. I used to love it, and He-Man was just such a hero, and it was just one of them childhood memories, so it was so nostalgic for me. And then they did, obviously, a sort of reboot in 2003, which, do you know what, was really good, had a really slick animation style and doesn't get enough praise. The only thing with it is it did follow slightly on the story of what was before, so it didn't sort of reinvent the wheel, but do you know what, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's one of them. But with Masters of the Universe Revelation, Kevin Smith got asked to come up with an idea for Master of the Universe, and he was like, do you know what, we can do that. And because he has a lot of respect for this kind of culture, this geeky culture, because the dude's a geek anyway, and he didn't want to sort of tread on what was gone before, so in Revelation we get sort of, it's a bit of a soft reboot, sort of sequel. So the events of what had happened in the original series have still happened and come to pass, and everything is as was. And then this now carries on the story. And I've been really looking forward to it since it was announced. So I've just watched part one, so there's 5 episodes in part one. And it really wasn't what I expected. It really sort of threw me off. There was a lot of things in there, like story beats and everything, that really sort of shifted the focus away from what I went in expecting to see. That's not to say that I didn't enjoy it. That's not at all. Sometimes it's nice to have your expectations changed. And Kevin Smith did that in style. So the shift has now gone from He-Man being the main focus. So he is still, He-Man's still He-Man, do you know what I mean? But now the story shifts to some of the other characters, namely Teela, played amazingly by Sarah Michelle Gellar. She nails it, man. She's amazing as Teela. And the focus is on her more than anybody else, and she sort of discovers something where the title of Revelation comes from, and then it's about her journey, her sort of, her way to find her place. She feels like something happens and she loses sort of her grounding and her understanding of the world around her in Eternia, and then it's up to her then, and the story follows her a little bit in the future. Like the first episode happens, and then the second episode has a bit of a time shift, and then this is where the main bulk of the story occurs, and the next 4 episodes, and it is Teela's sort of journey of redemption, really, to come to terms with a lot of things that happened, obviously in the past in the original show, and obviously the events of the first episode, which obviously I'm not going to spoil here, but oh my god, I didn't see it coming at all. I was left like jaw a gap. Do you know what I mean? I was like, at the end, the episode ended, I was like, it was just crazy, man. But maybe that's just me being too much of a fan. I just could believe that they sort of did what they did in the episode. And then it obviously follows like the journey of like them saving Eternia after the events of what happened. And it was really good. It was, honestly, because it wasn't what I expected. I think I just expected it to be like the old show where it was just Skeletor's up to some nefarious plan. He-Man will save the day. And that was just what I expected it to be, because that was always what He-Man was. Do you know what I mean? Skeletor would come up with some new way, with some new artifact that was going to destroy something or freeze time there or whatever he was doing, and then He-Man had come, and Skeletor calling some goons, and they have this fight, and it was all jolly good, and then, you know, heroes win and all that. And each episode was obviously self-contained in the old one, whereas this one has an underlying story, and part one does solidify a singular story, in a sense, over the 5 episodes it contains. But then, like, the way it ends, the show shouldn't have left just part one, man. Or we should at least have a release date for part 2, because, that ending. What the hell, man? Come on, Kev Smith. Dude. We need a date, man. We need a date. We need to know when we can catch up with this, man, and find out what's going on. But, yeah, it was really good. And it told a more mature story. And I think shifting the focus away from He-Man allowed them to sort of branch off to this maturity a little bit. So here in the UK, it got a 12 rating. And obviously the original was a U. But it needed that because some of the tones in it and some of the storylines and how they occur obviously appeal to a bit more of a mature audience. I mean, at the end of the day, the series is going to be targeted towards us 80s kids more than anybody else. Because that's what it's there for. Kev Smith's an 80s kid. I mean, he grew up with this, and he's just trying to give us what we want. You know, I mean, this dude's quite respectful of these things. So it is good that what he's done as a showrunner, but it is very well paced as well. I kind of thought when it first started and what the story I believe was going to be told, that the pacing might have been a bit off, but it doesn't, and it's nice to see some of the other characters like take on new roles, and you see new sides of people, especially people like Evil Lyn and Beastman. They were very different to what you expected them to be or what you remember them to be. They used to be quite one-dimensional characters, and in this they sort of round them off a little bit, and so you see a little bit more purpose from these characters and motivations. And it was nice that they sort of expand these characters a lot more. Orko used to be one of my favourites when I was younger. Orko was ace, man. I used to love Orko. He was just so just goofy, man. And he's great. And he's really cool in this as well. And he really gets his moment to shine. And Orko's moment to shine, I was like, yeah, man, Orko's ace. That's just Orko. And that's something that happens through the entire show. They sort of focus on these characters, and they each get a moment to sort of elevate them higher, and it's just so well done. And then like the voice cast they've got such a big celebrity voice cast to come in and give this animation sort of the life that it deserves. And I think that the actors they've brought in really highlight the emotion and the characteristics of these people really well. I mean, like I say, Evil Lyn's amazing, and Lena Headey just nails it, man. She could play a live action Evil Lyn, to be fair. She was amazing, and like I said before, Sarah Michelle Gellar was just phenomenal in the role. And like all these people really sort of bring it to the table, man. They really put their all into it, and it's just it's such a respectful show in that way, and. It's been animated by the company that did the Castlevania series as well. So the animation styling is sort of a lot more modern and a lot sort of more flashier in a sense. And it really helps to sort of build the fight scenes up. So when like the fight scenes happening, the animation is fluid, it's fast, there's real good choreography in it, and it really tracks well with everything that's going on. And it is just a wonder to behold, and the animation is really good. Now, some of the character design choices obviously differ from the original, but it's just a different person's interpretation, and I think obviously if you go into it just wanting the old sort of style, then you'll be a little disappointed because they do change the characters' looks a little bit, and it was just nice to sort of see this different style of character. It's a little bit more anime inspired, but it's done so well. I was really impressed with the animation. So overall, part 1, Master of the Universe, Revelation, was incredible. Okay, I really enjoyed it. If you're a Master of the Universe fan, if you're an 80s kid who grew up with it, then you need to watch this, man. You deserve it to yourself to watch this, to see where these characters go, to see the next step of the journey, the step that's never been told. And I honestly can't wait. I cannot wait for part 2. I just, come on, man. We need a date for this. We need it set in stone when you know when it's happening. Because that ending, oh, dude, that ending was crazy. And I need to know what happens. There's just things that happen at the very end of the episode. And I'm like, you can't leave it there. No one need to know. So hopefully we'll get a date for it soon. And do you know what? There's only 5 episodes, 25 minutes each-ish. It's going to take a couple hours to get through it. Honestly, you deserve it. Go watch it. It is incredible. Highly recommend it. Master of the Universe, Revelation. Thank you, Kevin Smith. You've done us a service. Now, guys, if you enjoyed this video, drop me a like, subscribe to the channel for more Ace content. If you do hit that like button, it really helps me out. It only takes a second to do. I really appreciate it, guys. Follow me on Instagram for updates. And with that, guys, I'll catch you later.